Welcome to Freezer Milk Podcast. I'm your host, Bridget, along with my husband, Chris. Podcast where we talk about the comedic side and serious side of parenting, life, and relationships. We are boy parents. We have two boys, Enzo and Rhett, with about a 6-year age gap between the two. You can check out our website, freezermilk.com. Also, feel free to follow us on Instagram at Freezer Milk Podcast. Thanks and hope you enjoy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Another week's behind us.
Time is starting to fly by.
Mm-hmm. How much time you got left until that baby comes out?
Like 3 months.
And we do this all over again.
We were just talking earlier today about how it's crazy that Rhett's down to like officially 1 nap a day.
Yeah. I mean, he's starting to come into his own and runs around this house like he owns this place.
Oh, God.
All sorts of attitude and
bruising,
likes to beat himself up, climb on everything, get into everything, hold shit down.
He's something else.
He's a character, man. Even our nanny's like, we need to get him a special helmet.
She's like, he just falls and runs into stuff and doesn't pay attention. We're like, yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He'll spin in circles and then fall down.
How crazy was it when I sent you that photo today of a year ago?
I know, right?
He looks so different.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize like how blonde his hair has gotten.
Yeah.
It's like a solid, like sandy, like dirty blonde now, I would say. And a year ago it was reddish brown.
Yeah, he's growing quick.
He does two things now. Like when he is ready to eat, he'll start dragging his high chair over
Closer to us so that we grab him food.
Yeah.
And now he's getting to a place where he knows kind of what he wants, so he can point at what he wants, and he'll squawk at you if you give him the wrong thing. And
I think the high chair dragging's hilarious. That one's new probably in the last week, where he's very like intentional about.
Yeah, here's my. He knows.
This is my hunger cue to you guys. I am dragging my high chair across the floor, so you'll be very aware
that this is what I want right now.
Yeah. Or like when he's ready to go for like a nap or bedtime, he sometimes will just like walk over to his crib area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he's really good about that right now, like putting him down. Like if you tell him it's bedtime and you tell him it's night-night, he grabs your hand and walks down the hallway.
He very rarely will like even cry about it. It was once we eventually cut the second nap, because the second nap is when he would cry.
Yeah.
But once we realized like he's really done with a second nap, he doesn't really cry at all about any of his naps or bedtime.
I feel like he only did a second nap for like a week. Now he's up. You know, he does his morning nap and then he's good all afternoon until 7 p.m. and
he struggles a little bit emotionally at that point because he's a little overtired, but nothing crazy. And he gets slap happy.
Yeah.
His favorite thing is to like run in circles, like staring at the ceiling though.
Yeah.
And like giggle while he's doing it because he thinks it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
You're always like, what is going on with him? He's so slap happy.
Yeah, what else has gone on this week? It's been a tough week. We've all been sick.
Yeah.
How'd we all get sick?
I don't know how we originally got sick. Round 1. But round 2 is because we went to your mom's house to work on her closet.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say to me? You said if, an environmental air specialist came in?
Environmental hygienist.
Yeah, if they came in, they would step one foot in the door and be like, absolutely not, and turn around and walk out.
No, they would know it's unhealthy. Her house is old. It's an older home.
It's not maintained.
It's not maintained. She hasn't replaced any of the floor coverings ever.
I don't know if she replaces air filters.
Yeah, ever. I mean, her house is just.
She doesn't maintain anything. Like
she doesn't take care of anything. So
that's just the way she is. Like your sister when she was here like a year ago, like freaked out because her Keurig was like super moldy and scaly and clogged, and her your aunt was telling me that the ice maker apparently stopped making ice like 5 months ago, and your mom just has refused.
It's a brand new refrigerator.
Brand new refrigerator. And she's like refused to get it looked at or fixed.
She just doesn't care. I mean,
It's just not a priority for her to take care of things.
No, so naturally her house is dirty.
Very.
Like from our standards. I mean, probably from anybody's standards, but
there's a lot of bugs.
Like, we are so used to our house being, like, I'm OCD, so our house is clean. Our filters are cleaned, everything's maintained, everything works.
All we have to tell people is the fact that you actually replace your cabin air filters in your vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, I change all my filters and everything. So,
yes.
Like, I'm very adamant about maintaining shit. And that's why our house is clean. So we're used to clean air. Yep. You know, like, you made a good point, though. You know, you were talking about the fact that, you know, you haven't left the house. Like, if you go anywhere, you go in our vehicle, which I maintain, which I keep clean, which I change out the air filters, or you're in our house, which I change out the air filters, right, which is clean.
Because I haven't worked in an office in 4 years. So I haven't been around, like, musty air like that in a long time. You know, going to stores or other people's houses, like, I'm not there very long, and we were at your mom's house for, 7 or 8 hours? 8 hours on Saturday, and
I was sick before that, but
yeah, but
you got really sick.
It wrecked me. My sinuses in general are very sensitive in Arizona. Like, I've had sinus surgery twice because my sinuses just hate Arizona. But her house, like, the allergens.
Yeah, I mean, she's had animals over the years, dogs, cats, you know, you name it, lizards and shit. So
I don't think she's ever had her air ducts cleaned. So there's probably like dead cockroaches in them and.
I don't know that it's that bad, but yeah. I mean, no, all of the carpet needs to be...
Has she ever had a vacuum now?
I don't know. The carpets need to be ripped out, concrete, you know, a little bit treated, and all new tile, and it needs a to be sanitized.
The doors and windows aren't well sealed, so, like, stuff comes in from the outside really easily.
Yeah.
You know, like bugs and stuff with more...
And it's not that she doesn't have the money. You know, she has the money to fix her house, she just doesn't do it.
It's not a priority.
No. I'm like, all right, well, you can live this way. I'm not gonna. So, anyway, it's been a long week. I've been sick. You've been sick.
Yeah, it wrecked me really bad. Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday was really bad. Like, I spiked a fever because my body immediately everything. My lymph nodes swelled up, nose, throat, ears, everything immediately congested.
Mm-hmm. So now we have a new rule that Bridget can't go to my mom's house anymore.
Ever. Have to stay outside.
But yeah, we're finishing up a project for her, and fortunately she's out of town visiting my sister, so
makes it a little bit easier.
Makes it easier to get stuff done.
Enzo, what did he have recently going on that he was so excited about? Oh, so they've started doing pets at school, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to have him talk about, that he got to see a baby bunny and baby, chicks, and I think they're seeing baby ducks later this week or something, and a service dog, and
yeah, but he was also saying how disappointed he came home. He was all excited for it and jacked for it yesterday, but then he came home today, and because we had asked him about it, and he was down, and we were like, what's up? And he's like, well, there was baby chicks. Oh, well, that's awesome. You would think that's awesome. Well, no, because the other students in the classroom
hogged all the time.
Hogged the chicks the whole time, and he didn't get to touch them.
Yeah.
It's this school he is at is just.
What did he tell you today about lunch that just blew your mind?
Oh, he told me. I said, you asked him if he had a good lunch, and he's like,
if he ate all his lunch he packed yesterday.
Yeah, if he ate all his lunch he packed yesterday, and he said no. And you asked him why, and he was like, because I didn't have enough time. And I said, what do you mean you didn't have enough time? You get an hour for lunch. And he's like, no, they give us 15 minutes. And I'm like, what?
You lost, what? 15 minutes?
What kind of fucking child slavery bullshit is this, 15 minutes? Even prison inmates get longer than that, come on. Give these kids time to eat their frickin' meals.
You're like, what kid eats in 15 minutes?
Right?
They're just distracted for the first 8 trying to figure out how to open their lunchbox and talk to their friends.
I feel like when I was in school, we had an hour. I really do.
I don't think in elementary we did. In high school, we had 40 minutes, I think. But in elementary, I'm sure it was shorter.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just this school he's in frustrates me. Everything about it frustrates me. It's supposed to be one of the better establishments out here for kids, but I just...
to put it in perspective, you're ranking the best of the worst, because Arizona is ranked in horribly. The bottom 5 for the whole nation for schooling.
Yeah.
So it's, the best of the worst.
You take what you can get, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like time to move. Get him into a better school.
We surprised Enzo with a trip that's going to be coming up.
Yep, that's true. We're going out of town.
Yeah, we're going to go visit some family on the East Coast. It'll be Enzo's first airplane ride. Please pray for us. We're going to have 2 children and a pregnant mama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be fun. This is not a trip I'm exactly looking forward to.
The travel part of it you're not looking forward to. The rest of it, like, it should be pretty nice. Because we'll be seeing, like, some family and friends, and they'll be excited to see the
It's like we went to Florida. We just took Rhett to Florida, and pretty much sat in the room the whole time.
That was different. So if you think about it, though, like, we didn't have family and friends down there with children to go visit and, you know, interact with, etc.
Yeah.
Like, this is more of not a vacation for us sightseeing trip. It's more of a, like, socialize with family and friends trip. So there'll be people that are very excited to see Enzo and see Rhett and entertain them and talk to them and love on them.
You know, that's what I hate about that, though. Like, you know, we're going out there. The expectation shouldn't be that we're going out there to visit family. No, we're going out there because we want a little trip, and we just happen to have family on that in those parts of the world. Yeah. So we're going to visit them. But it's like, as soon as you tell my sister that we're going out there, she's going to be like, oh my God, you're going to have to do this and that. No.
That's why she's getting told 2 days of it, and that's it.
Yeah. So.
But, like, Enzo was so excited, so we told him, and he was excited about the airplane ride. And then I said, we'll probably do a day. We'll go up to Washington, D.C., because it's not that far. And we'll do a day in Washington, D.C. And he got so excited.
Yeah, I know. He was talking about wanting to see the White House.
Oh, we are? I was like, yeah, as long as the weather's good. He was like, are we going to meet the president?
Right.
I was like, no. You were like, I put in a phone call.
Yeah, I put in a phone call.
I was like, no, we'll walk by his house and you'll be able to see the outside of his house.
No, I think what I said to him is that he'd have a better chance seeing Santa Claus.
And he looked at you like, no, nobody sees Santa.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But he was so excited about that. But then I realized that he is like 110% my child. Because he started thinking about the airplane more. And he started asking us, will they go over all the safety stuff? So if we have a water landing, they'll tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know this?
He's like, is there a whistle on the plane?
He's like, is there a whistle on my like thing if we go in the water? I'm like, how do you know all this? For a kid who's never been on a plane, like, you're guessing that safety manual pretty well.
Yeah, and they'll go over every single detail of it. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, your seat's a flotation and that. Like, he started like legit going like prep mode. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah.
I'm like, this will be a fun flight. He's going to be terrified. He's going to be one of those kids just screams at takeoff.
Like, you're definitely my child.
Wonderful.
It'll be good. I think he'll like it. I think it'll be an adventure.
Something you remind me of is that going out there, it's going to be, in October. So you said that there's potential that it's going to be cooler there. Yeah. But also you said that the leaves might be changing. And I'm like, I'm from Arizona. Leaves don't change. What is that like? I've read about it in stories and fables and stuff like that, but I've never seen it.
So there's like a very tiny chance that because we're going during like one of the optimal times of the year that you might like fall in love with it.
Yeah.
But just remind yourself it's
not like that.
It's very humid in the summer and it gets snowy and icy and like gray overcast for months in the winter.
Sounds delicious.
But fall is perfection. So that part I'm excited about.
Yeah.
But you definitely could. I was thinking about that. I was like, there's a chance Cree might fall in love with this because of the weather while we're here and be like, this is beautiful and it's like greenery and leaves change colors out here and the weather's so nice.
It'll be interesting. I mean, again, I'm not looking forward to the flying because flying sucks nowadays. But I think everything else would be kind of cool.
We bit the bullet. We bought Red a seat, even though he's under 2.
Yeah, we learned our mistake on our trip to Florida.
The flights they're too full right now, unfortunately. Like, they're too full to, like, try to risk having an open seat on the plane.
Yeah.
So I think especially with having 2 kids and 2 adults and one of us being pregnant, that we need to have the ability to put him in his car seat, not just try to hold him. Could you imagine me trying to hold him with a big old pregnant belly? No.
Yeah. I mean, I think on the way to Florida, I held him for an hour, but he slept.
Yeah. And then my cousin and I held him each, and
we made it, but it was...
The way back was tough, though, because we didn't have my cousin.
Yeah,
it was a lot tougher, and Rhett did not sleep.
Not at all. Not a wink.
We learned also on this one, we're not doing a layover. We're going to do a straight direct flight. Because the layover, I think, messes with Rhett, because we get off the plane, so he thinks freedom, and then we put him back on a plane, and he's like, wait, what? No.
Yeah.
Why am I contained again?
Yeah, this could be interesting. Could we put him in a cage and put him in below plane?
No. I'm kind of intrigued, though, because I was thinking about it, and so Enzo will be almost 8 at that point. And I have memories, fairly distinctive memories of, like, trips I went on around that age. Whereas if we'd taken him when he was, like, 5, he wouldn't really remember it, or 4.
Right.
But I think he's at an age now where, like, this could become some, like, core memories for him later in life where he can remember this trip as an adult.
You remember stuff that happened when you were 8?
Uh-huh.
I don't.
We went to England.
Yeah, I don't remember shit.
But I think it would be cool, like, if he does, and that was something I was thinking about, too, because we debated whether or not to do it on a week we had Enzo or not do it on a week we had Enzo.
But we felt like we are a blended family, and we tend to not take him on flight trips, and we don't want to make that a habit because we don't want him to feel left out.
Yep.
So.
And he has a fall break, which works out really well because he doesn't have to miss school time. But I think that's something that people that have joint custody, especially if they have, like, another kid that they have full-time and then they have a kid they have joint custody of, it's something that definitely arises from time to time, is this dilemma of, do we always do it when we have all kids, or do we do it when we have less kids for, travel and stuff like that, because it's less people to manage, less expense, but then somebody's missing out, and we're missing out on experiencing that with the whole family.
Yeah.
And we did, like you said earlier, like, we did Florida, and we didn't take him to Florida because it was on a week we didn't have him. But I think with this one, with, like, his fall break and everything else, it just worked out really well. And I think the purpose of this trip, too, with it being more of going to Washington, D.C., or seeing family and, enjoying that quality time, like, that's something that I think he will appreciate a lot more than he would have appreciated the Florida trip.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we still have to talk about it because it's still, anyone who travels right now knows that travel is a little bit crazy.
Yeah, fortunately for him, he's pretty self-sufficient nowadays.
Yes.
I mean, so I'm thinking, hopefully on the airplane and while sitting in the airport, he's, content playing iPad or his Game Boy or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's not wild and toddler.
Rhett just wants to run around free as a bird.
Oh, God. He's interesting. I think Enzo, though, like, Enzo's excited to see some of the people we're going to go see. He's talking about it.
Well, we normally do a beach trip
every year,
but we asked him because the last time we went, he didn't really, he used to love the beach trips, but we asked him about it. But last year he seemed as if he didn't really enjoy it. It doesn't help that he's
excited till we got there, and then we were there, and he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't like the beach. I don't know, because there was sand fleas, and he doesn't like bugs. And
we asked him if he wanted to go to the beach, and he said no. Let's do something else instead.
Mm-hmm. So we were going to do, like, glamping or something, but we decided, we'll take him on an airplane ride.
It'll be his first one.
Yeah.
I'm excited that, like, we get to have that card for him,
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that we are by far, like, we're the passport holders. We're by far the people that are much more into travel in his family than the other side of his family. And so I'm excited to be, like, we get to be the ones to take him on his first airplane ride that he will remember. Like, he went on an airplane when he was, like, 15 months old. But I don't consider that to count.
Yeah.
Because he was too little. So I think that'll be really cool.
No, he said he was excited to see the USA from the sky.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He was like, it's going to be so cool to, like, look and see everything from the airplane window. It's just cool to be able to see the excitement.
Yeah, because I feel like he hasn't shown a lot of excitement in a while.
But it's, like, cool to, like, see the things that he's intrigued about. Or, like, today even, it tells you that he's been thinking about it. Because today he was like, so from when we leave to when we land is going to be like 7.5 hours in time, but it only takes 4 hours to get there, or 4.5 hours. Like, he, like, thought about that today and, like, did the math at some point today. Yeah. During his day, he thought about... So that tells me, like, he's still really
Because we told him yesterday that part of the East Coast is, 3 hours ahead?
Yep.
As far as time's concerned, and he just put the math together. It was interesting. I think he's excited for it.
I think so, too. Might have to get him, like, his own little suitcase or something at some point.
Yeah, we don't have anything for him, do we?
Not really, yeah. Give him, like, his own designated one.
I like it.
It's gonna be fun. What did he was asking about if they give you food on the plane.
Yeah, I said they give you a bag of pretzels and a drink.
Originally you said peanuts. I was like, I don't think they do peanuts anymore because of so many people have peanut allergies. He was like, oh, that's it? I was like, don't worry, we'll pack you snacks in the bag.
Yeah. Unless we're flying first class, you don't get a meal.
Yeah. Oh, he asked, that was one of the things he asked too. He's like, are we flying the regular way or the, like, really expensive way in the front? Like, how do you know so much about a plane? This is impressive. Mm-hmm. I was like, do you mean first class versus, like, coach? He's like, yeah. Or, like, economy? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, no, there's 4 of us going. We're flying economy.
Yeah, we're flying cheap.
We're not doing first class, bud. We're not like that yet. One day, maybe. What else have we had go on this week?
No, it's only Tuesday.
Did you notice Enzo's freckles are coming out more on his nose?
That's probably because he's spending a lot more time in the sun.
Yeah. It's so cute.
He loves the pool.
He does. He's getting better at diving, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's telling me he's doing a bunch of them in the deep end now.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I love his little freckles. I was looking at him yesterday when he was, like, sitting on the couch talking to me last night. And, like, they just make me smile. It's so freaking cute, his little freckles across his nose. Like, oh my... You'll have to, like, look for it tomorrow. It's adorable. I like it.
Yeah.
What things do we have coming up next week?
Work.
Yeah. Aside from work.
I don't know. We're coming into the holiday season again.
Gosh.
What are we? Tomorrow, September?
No. Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, we're in September this week, so.
Gosh, time's flying. Might figure out Halloween stuff.
Yeah, now we actually have a courtyard that we can
decorate.
Do something cool.
And also figure out, like, what Enzo wants to do for a costume and Rhett and all that.
Yeah.
Coming up quick. Yay!
Fuck. Then you're going to want to do fucking Christmas lights.
Some kind of.
Not doing it.
Not
doing it.
Okay.
It's a lot bigger house, a lot more roof line.
You can be a Grinch.
You can get up there. Tons of fun.
I'll be like 39 weeks pregnant.
Every time we do Christmas lights, you're pregnant.
I wasn't pregnant last year.
I feel like you were.
Oh, when did we put them up? Because I miscarried right around Thanksgiving. Did we put them up before Thanksgiving? Or was it right after?
It was probably like right after.
Yeah, and I just miscarried, so you weren't having me climb anything.
I'm not climbing nothing.
Maybe we'll get the projectors.
There you go. We have some.
We do. We'll have to see how they look.
Mm-hmm. That's what we did. Oh, that's what we did last year. We did the projectors. I didn't climb up on the roof last year. I said I refused to do it.
Yeah, we had inflatables and projectors.
Yeah, it looked fine.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. We'll figure it out.
Maybe we'll add to the collection. I don't know. I'm just not. Anyway, it's kind of what we got going on.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we appreciate you listening to us.
We're gonna
old sob stories about everything that happens during our weeks.
I feel like hopefully people like take away that parenting is very relatable. You know, we all go through.
Yeah, I mean, we might live a little bit different lifestyles, but at the end of the day, we're kind of all going through the same shit.
Yeah.
So it's just kicking the ball forward. That's basically all we're doing. Like we were talking about, that was the other thing we were talking about today, because me and you haven't been too happy with our weight, and we were talking about it's not a priority for us right now, and a lot of the reason being that, you know, we're so entrenched with work and building a business and kids, and we're just so busy. But
yeah, that's right. We did talk about that. Let's hit on that for a quick moment, and then we'll close out for the night for everybody. But I'd heard at one point that, and it's always stuck with me, people, claim they don't have enough time to do something or this, that, or the other. They make excuses. And really your day, like, yes, your day is 24 hours, but how you choose to prioritize that time is what you choose to invest your time in.
Like I said, in order for me to work out, I'd have, because Rhett gets up at 5:30 every day. Yeah. I'd have to get up at 4 to go work out, or I'd have to do it late at night. But I'd rather have 7.5 hours of sleep. So I'm prioritizing sleep over
working out
and, that whole deal.
But I think we talked about that. It's not just, you don't just sleep and wake up and have like an 8 hours of work and your day is done. Like, we're
nonstop. I'm nonstop from the moment I get up to the moment I go to bed. Nonstop.
We're parenting 2 children. We are pregnant with a 3rd one. We have corporate jobs that are 40 plus hours a week. We also are, getting off the ground 3 additional businesses.
Yeah.
And a podcast, and we just have
I do side jobs.
We do side projects for one of our businesses, and there's things that just take time right now, and there's things that we choose to prioritize. We prioritize getting quality sleep to be able to do all those things. We prioritize, the care that we have for Rhett that costs money, that we could be utilizing for gym membership or food service delivery multiple times a day or something like that.
Well, it's like this podcast. We do this. We prioritize that over other things because at the end of the day, this is healthy for me and you. It's like one of the best ways for me and you to communicate and talk to each other and be able to vent about sometimes our shitty kids or our shitty jobs or, just shittiness that's going on, or, even talk about the really good stuff. And, and that's kind of why we do what we do with this.
It gives us a chance, we always joke that, like, it's our own version of therapy, but I feel like it really is. And whether it's kids or jobs or life or even us as a couple, like,
I've gone through a lot of therapy in my life, and I feel like just being able to talk to you in a setting like this at home has probably been one of the more helpful.
I would agree. I would agree. But yes, so your life, what you prioritizing listening to this podcast while you're doing a daily workout or sitting in traffic or deciding to wind down, for your day, and you want something just easy to listen to, like, you prioritizing listening to this podcast is saying, hey, like, this is something I want to invest my time in right now. And
it's relatable.
That's one of the things that, in this season that we're in, our priorities are where they are, and we know that season won't last forever, and it will change as we evolve and grow.
Yeah.
And as our kids get older.
Yeah, eventually they are going to be even more self-sufficient, and they're going to be wanting to do their stuff, their activities, their friends, their whatever, and then maybe me and you will have more time to prioritize the other things that we haven't prioritized now.
We've talked about that, like, just how much from when we first started dating when Enzo was 2, almost 3, and how much in those first few years our dynamic changed just from Enzo getting older and getting a little bit more self-sufficient and not as requiring and kind of coming into his own. Like, it opened up this phase of moving from so much in mom mode and, bonus dad mode into...
we actually have some time.
Yeah. So
and now we're back to full-time parent mode.
We are.
And we'll be doing that for the next few years, so...
And that's okay.
It's okay. I'll be ready for a different, ready to prioritize myself eventually, in the next few years anyway.
And then when we're out of, like, full-time parent mode and they're older and more self-sufficient, we'll be like, oh my gosh, they don't want to hang out with us.
Yeah, pretty much.
They don't need us. Brett Holden is not, like, so excited to see us every day.
What, Mom?
Right? What do you want? Why do you yell my name?
Yeah, I guess the moral of this story is we're all kind of just doing this together, and if you take anything away from this is you're not alone.
Yeah. Tune in again next week. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. You can check us out at
freezermilk.com
or Instagram.
Freezer Milk Podcast.
Until next week, guys. Thanks.
Don't forget, parenting is a trip. We are all here on the journey with you together. Thanks so much for listening.